We'll see if you remember this one, folks. Don't you think you oughta take a trip to Faulkner to Doug Thorley Viscount Caravans? G'day, Blake. How are you, mate?
Good, boss.
Now, you're way too young to remember that jingle, mate, are you?
But I'm pretty familiar with Doug Thorley.
Excellent. Just so you guys know, this is Blake. He's the General Manager of Viscount Caravans, part of the Concept Caravans group.
We took over the Viscount name in 2018. I've been producing Viscount Caravans in a separate state-of-the-art facility here in Campbellfield, Victoria. Very proud and honoured to take over a brand that's got such history in Australia.
It's iconic, really, isn't it? You know, so and I guess also part of the Concept family is your Franklin as well, which is another iconic brand,
and Newlands as well,
Newlands,
which was also from the 70s. So yeah, we've quickly become one of the old brand caravan names in the industry.
But trusted too. I mean, you know, like there are very few people, certainly in the older ilk, who wouldn't know Viscount Caravans, you know. And there's still plenty of the old Doug Thorley Viscount Caravans floating around, mate.
Correct. So. We were just talking about that actually. my partner with a on-site van from the early 70s out in Toowoomba. So.
Tell you a really quick story about Doug. Actually, he used to have a place up at Eildon, and he was at the pub one day, and he boasted about the fact that he could beat these guys who were staying in the caravan park. That if they went fishing, that they could outfish them. And so he challenged them to a fishing competition, and he dragged my old man into it, you know. So my old man said, well, what are you doing? He said, mate, I can't fish. We're no bloody good. He said, it's not about the fishing, mate. They bet us 100 slabs of beer. This is no bull, folks. Right, anyway, so they went out fishing. Sure enough, I think Dad and Doug caught one fish, and the other boys caught about 80 fish that day or something like that. And Doug went and got the 100 slabs, and he took them down to the park, and every single person came around in that park and said, oh yeah, you got beaten, Doug, you got beaten. But the amount of caravans he sold after at the back end of that was just immense, you know. So he was definitely a legend in the game when it comes to the Viscount brand. So, mate, we're sitting in the V3 family van. It's a premium van. Tell us a little bit about the van.
Yeah, so the V3 family sits on a 6-inch chassis. It's available in either 2 or 3 bunks. It's got your classic family layout nowadays with a separate toilet and shower, bunks at the rear, and Queen Island bed at the front. And it's stacked with plenty of features.
Well, I can see all of that, and I noticed that some of the features you guys are using a lot of Thetford product in this van. Tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, so we've one of the things that we decided when we took over the brand in 2018 was we wanted to go with Reputable Suppliers, and that's why we formed the relationship with Thetford. So as you can see, we use the full cooktop as well as the fridge. So we've got a number of different fridges. In this one, we've got the N4175, so really popular and easy to use fridge.
Yeah, and you got the toilet and everything, mate. It's fully decked out with Thetford, this one, I noticed.
Got the full package on this one, so yeah, a bit of a Thetford special, this van.
Yeah, and I noticed Viscount are really well priced in the market. Obviously, we won't go too specific in the prices now because things change on a daily basis.
Yep.
But they are very good value for money vans, aren't they?
Yeah, correct. And that was part of the plans when we started again in 2018 was to make it very much like the old vans for the everyday family. So we're trying to make them as affordable as possible, but still with all the features and the quality of product that people do need these days.
Yeah, and I guess they're probably come to expect that from the Concept family too, is because I mean Concept's a great van.
Yeah.
And therefore I guess that's obviously spread throughout the family. But you guys do actually operate quite autonomously, don't you?
Yeah, we do. We've got a separate state-of-the-art facility. The one thing that we do have in common is the CNC machines that we use. So all of the Viscount Caravan range is constructed using CNC furniture. So a big investment in technology allows us to streamline the process in which we build, which allows us to pass the cost on to the end user.
Okay, so obviously you guys don't just make family vans, you make them a full range of vans. Tell us a little bit about the full range of Viscount.
So the Viscount Caravan range is very, very basic. We've essentially got 5 different layouts, or 5 different models. We've got a V1, which is 17'6", and right now we're in our biggest van, which is the family V3, which is 22 foot. So really we've got vans from 17'6" to 22 foot with a variety of different options in those sizes, but essentially a very basic range, and we've tried not to overcomplicate it with things.
Is that to keep it simple? Because let's say sometimes, I know it's got lots of bells and whistles on it.
Yeah.
But you're just trying to keep it simple from the consumer perspective, so it just makes it easier for them to work out what they want.
Correct. And that's probably the one thing we noticed was lacking in the industry. Was just that simplicity of these are the sizes that we have available and these are the layouts we have available, and we've got the options that we think most people need, and then a variety of options that you can add if required. But for the most part, they're stacked with everything you need to go away.
And I guess at the moment, obviously with everything going on in the world, there's a lot of people really considering a caravanning holiday. It seems to be pretty much the safest option going around.
Yeah.
I imagine that where Viscount is placed in the market from a price point and a quality perspective is probably a really good van to look at. First up, we should put it on the shopping list at least to investigate, eh?
Absolutely, and that's what we saw, you know, with restrictions easing in May. That, you know, we've done a lot of work over the last couple of years to build the brand back up, and we've certainly seen that flourish since the restrictions have eased a little bit throughout the country.
Yeah. So obviously there's no caravan shows on at the moment. You guys got a good dealer network around Australia?
Yeah, we've got 9 dealers across Australia. So we've got a dealer in every major city. We've just recently signed one in South Australia for the first time as well, which is very exciting for us. And yeah, we continue our expansion plans.
Well, they're obviously able to do a bit more caravanning in South Australia than here in Victoria at the moment, folks.
Yeah,
but it's all right, we'll get there. We will get there.
Yeah, well,
so,
hopefully. If we all do the right thing, I'm sure we will.
Obviously, if people want to find out more about Viscount Caravans or where to find their nearest dealer, where would they go?
viscountcaravans.com.au, or they can check us out on Facebook.
Beautiful, guys, you heard it, viscountcaravans.com.au. Check out the Facebook page, jump online, check it all out. They're a good van, it's a great iconic brand, and wouldn't you like to be able to drive around this in a holiday park, eh?